Ladies and gentlemen, for our liberals out there who are a little slow, this is a bobblehead. See that? It's a bobblehead. And we purchased this bobblehead when I was in Maine in September because I knew it would come in handy. Because Joe Biden's a bobblehead. Everything he says, very, very stupid. The guy is delusional. And he continues to be delusional. So he's going to blame the oil companies. Why? Because that's worked for the Democrats. It's worked for the Marxists over the decades. But we have recent experience with the oil companies when gasoline was much affordable, much easier to purchase. Let's take a listen. Go.
As Americans struggle with record high gas prices.
There's frickin' frack. Sacco and Vanzetti. Oof. Go ahead.
President Joe Biden is calling on oil companies to boost production and help lower the cost at the pump. In a scathing letter this morning to the CEO.
Wait a minute. Biden sent a letter? Wow. Go ahead.
Top U.S. oil refineries. Biden said they are taking advantage of the crisis as their profits have tripled. Biden said his administration is prepared to take any, quote, reasonable and appropriate steps that would help companies increase their output in the near term. Joining us now, U.S. Secretary of Energy, Jennifer Granholm. Good to have you on the show this morning. So tell us more about what exactly he's asking the oil companies to do. And I just wonder if the president needs to sort of level with the American people about the situation, the energy situation globally, and how it's impacting gas prices here at home. Because isn't it the case that some of this he cannot control?
Gee, what a question. Isn't it the case some of it he can't control? Did they ever say that to Trump about anything? Can he control the border? Yes, it's wide open. He's violating federal immigration laws. Oh, I see. I see. Can he control oil prices? No, but he doesn't have to sabotage them either. There are policies that work in recent history. All he has to do is mimic them. In fact, all he had to do was leave the oil companies alone, and we wouldn't be in this position. What Sacco and Vanzetti here will not say is that it has been the plan of the Democrat Party and the Marxists to drive up the cost of fuel all along. They've said it. They've not hidden their thoughts about it. They don't believe in the combustion engine. They hate progress. They are a degrowth movement. This is who they are. This is what they believe. And the Democrat Party has embraced this. They're the vessel through which these people operate. And Biden has surrounded himself with these people. That's what he's done. He's surrounded himself, I'm sure, with young Marxists. Many of them come from the Obama era and so forth. They're just pushing their ideology. They hate the oil company. They're the enemy. And they're exploiting the American people. And look at their profits. Look at their profits. Why were the oil companies not such profiteers 18 months ago, but they're profiteers today? What changed, ladies and gentlemen? Did all their boards change? All their CEOs and other executives change? What changed? Nothing changed. And what they also don't say is the federal government's taking in more tax revenue than any time in American history. Wow. Where's that coming from? Confiscatory taxes. Like I said, what did Reagan do to expand the economy? But if they did what Reagan did, they wouldn't be Democrats anymore, would they? They wouldn't be ideologues anymore, would they? Go.
Oh, totally, Mika. I mean, there's so much that is beyond any leader in the globe's control, unless they own state-owned enterprises that are producing gasoline. So oil is traded at today about $120 a barrel, and that price is being paid by people in Japan. It's being paid by people in...
So why is it $2 a gallon less in Mexico? I had a gentleman call me on my radio show, and he traveled into Mexico, right on the border, and he said the gas station on the American side, this in California, versus the Mexican side across from California, it was $2 a gallon difference. And Americans are going to Mexico to fill up their cars. Americans are going to Mexico to fill up their cars. Why is that? We produce a lot more oil, don't we? We certainly did. Well, because of all the costs. Folks, it takes at least a decade to build a refinery. There's no new refinery online, none, because the administration made it clear it's going to destroy fossil fuels. And if you run a business and you have a public obligation to your shareholders, you're not going to build a refinery when the federal government's telling you they're not going to allow refineries. You're not going to spend money. You're not going to spend money on a lease if you can't get a permit to drill. And that's what's going on. You're not going to spend money to move oil from Canada to the United States if they won't let you build a pipeline. You're not going to drill offshore or drill in Alaska there where you can't get a lease. You got to pick up all your equipment and move it. What do they think's going on? This is exactly what they wanted. They keep talking about we need to end fossil fuels and move to clean energy. I don't know what clean energy is. In fact, there's no such thing as clean energy. Electricity is created by fossil fuels or nuclear power. Electricity isn't automatic. It just says, hey, we got electricity. Well, how do you produce it? Lithium batteries. How do you get lithium batteries? You have all kinds of mining going on for cobalt, for lithium, for all kinds of stuff, especially in the third world in China. They bring out these monster trucks. These monster trucks. Gee, I wonder how much fuel they use. Probably more than my vehicle. None of this is cost-free. None of this is clean energy, quote unquote. That's the propaganda. That's the language. This is an attack on the private sector and capitalism. Can you feel it? Can you see it now? That's what's going on. And they continue to attack it. Like I wrote in Ameritopia, you can never criticize the failed ideology. You can criticize the failed leader, like the press is starting to do. You can criticize the failed implementation, but you can never criticize the ideology.
Want to see more? Sign up for LevinTV.